Hello, hello, hello. Today we are live a little early because I think it takes a minute for the broadcast to go live over to LA and then back here. And let's hope we're live everywhere else. So we're a little early. Next time we'll try to, it'll be a test to see how I can get this done. So this is Implement Club website. You can go over there and see some of the Build Your Business in 52 Weeks presentations. But basically, here I am. I'm Jane Gardner, and welcome to Build Your Business in 52 Weeks. This is week 26. And we're going to be talking about your massive network that you're going to build. And this is part of Implement Club as well as part of my business. This is jane-gardner.com is my central information about my business and me website. And then we have implement.club. As well. So let's get started. Today we're in week 26, and today it's all about local reach. Now this is not something you may not have thought of before for your Dream 100, and I'll go over what your Dream 100 is in a minute, but this is an interesting concept that you could use in your local area. So let's get started. So we're going to build your business in 52 weeks. This is a free training that you can find on YouTube, or you can sign up to get into the membership and see the other previous episodes, and certainly I will be referring to a few of them. You can implement, get into action, and grow. I have 15 principles, but of course you can have a different number of principles to build your business, and that is to develop your core values, your mindset, your brand, and then position yourself as an educator, do a weekly workshop, build a product snowball, develop a strategic marketing framework, create a content factory, build a massive network, which we're talking about today, become a media mogul, get into production mode, build a learning center, create an online community, raise and build an affiliate fans, and put systems in place to make it grow on a regular basis. So today we're talking about building a massive network, and we are going to get out onto the internet and get people to know you. So today it's all about thinking local. When you build a network, this is something that you may not have thought of, so it should be original thought for you. But there are a lot of people who speak about the Dream 100, people that you want to meet in your business, who you can go out and find them and then connect, interact, help and follow your Dream 100 influencers that in your business. You can develop relationships, and we spoke last time on how to do that. So you can go to either the membership and go back to look at Build Your Business, Build Your Massive Network. I think it's week 16, and go through that and start building your list of your Dream 100. And then these are the people that you want to develop relationships with in order to get some of their audience, in order to get some support, in order to make yourself an asset to having them have a relationship with you. And then of course from those Dream 100 you can get affiliates, you can get partners, and you can get collaborators. And this is one of the ways that you can grow your business, by extending your reach into other people's audiences. So you can go have a look at the Dream 100 training in week 16. And you can also go to my YouTube channel at Jane Gardner, where my playlist Build Your Business, I think in 52 weeks, it is in that playlist, free and available for you to listen to and watch. So we've already considered that, and so we're going to continue to build our Dream 100 and connect and reach out to others. But here's something about thinking inside of the box. Who do you know locally? So the nature of most digital and information-based business is that you can have customers from all over the world. And as long as you can bridge language and culture barriers, you will have customers that don't live where you live. However, there will always be times when it may be impossible or improbable that a segment of your market may be able to do business with you. All we have to do is look at the last pandemic and see that things changed very quickly in terms of what the situation is with the world and connecting to others. Certainly a lot of the events were shut down, so you couldn't connect one-on-one, and a lot of more people had to go online. But if the opposite should happen and you're unable to get to customers online, that means without changing the nature of your business, you may need to reverse engineer into your local area. So this means extending your network, whether it's primarily online or offline. So you want to think about local but online. So you want to keep it easy. You can certainly do things like attend local networking meetings in person and in real time. You can attend Chamber of Commerce events and specific events given by municipal organizations and charities. But that might be outside of your current rhythm and your current business and take you out of a profitable way of doing business. So you have to always consider the time spent at these meetings, etc. Is how much is the value of that in terms of your time and your profit, and whether or not you have the time to do that. But going into physical space without it already being part of your operation can make you unproductive, as I mentioned, because of course you may not be able to do the other work that is profitable if you're busy networking. And you may just not be interested in meeting locally with people in your local area. But that is no reason not to have a list of local customers as a hedge against international regional problems in your base. So the nature of your business is still the same. Nothing should change about what you're trying to do while you extend yourself locally. You're still an educator in your sub-niche. You're still building strategic marketing frameworks. You're still online. You're still doing a weekly workshop to build content. And you're still building your brand. So the question is, how can you get attention from local related lists about your marketing funnel online? So how can you get people into your weekly workshop and content? Well, focus on the network, not the noise, and be discerning. You will need to be more discerning about who you would add to your Dream 100, but who fits the category of people that, of course, have podcasts, so they are visible online, who have lists. Of course, you need to consider the people that have lists, who actually use email lists. There's a lot of local people in your local businesses in your area that probably don't even have an email list. And of course, you can always educate them with your workshop on why they should have a list. And that would be one thing that you could do, or why they should have a podcast, depending on their business. And maybe then you'll become someone who they want to connect with and collaborate with. You should look for people that have blogs, and then you could consider networking with them online in terms of connecting and saying you could maybe do a guest post on their blog, or would they be interested in participating in something online that you're doing. So who already has your business audience locally? Who already has an email list or social media following? They at least need to have an email list or social media following in order for this to work. And how can you serve these individuals before you make the ask? So, as I mentioned before, you could educate them on doing a podcast or creating an email list, or maybe guest post on their blog, or just educate them on easy ways to do things like doing a podcast and that kind of thing. But yeah, they definitely have to be people who have at least started doing email, have a blog, or they are visible online with a podcast or doing social media. If they aren't really available, can you draw them out? So you have to consider also, if they don't have a list, is it worth you spending the time to educate them on how to get a list? Now, they may be easy for them to get a list in terms of they already have fans who come and use their service or their business or their restaurant, and they just haven't gotten them onto a list yet. So you could certainly educate them on that and the importance of it. And that would easily be built within a month, in terms of if they're your interest in your business, and you're also someone who is interested in the same type of niche, then you need to consider that as a possibility and how much time it would take to do that. So the camp view is, where are they? There are certain people in your local area that you will go where they are. So are they having group meetings? So are they active? Are they online business minded? Your pitch is that you educate them for free, and you can do workshops that they can access online with you. You don't want to spend too much time doing workshops in setting up events at the library. To do a free workshop can take a lot of, you have to consider your time versus the value of doing this. If they don't have a list, then it might not be worth your time to try and educate them on that. You can go to your Chamber of Commerce. You can go to a SCORE. You can go to the Small Business Administration. You could look at local and regional trade groups. And for strategy, you want to read Networking with Millionaires by Robert J. Stanley, about how to do this easily, productively, and not taking too much of your time in order to grow your audience. So then there's the honey view. You can need a way to draw out your potential partners and get them to come online. So it needs to be sweet enough to entice them. So you need something that online marketers should understand or would understand. You can do a local version of an online summit. Now that's something new you probably never thought of, but if you're a marketer online, or you're online, you've certainly heard about summits and all-day workshops online. So why not organize a local version of an online summit? Just think about whether or not the people that you want to attract to doing the summit, would they be someone that you think would take the next step and get the requirements together that you need in order to do a 1 hour episode with them. So yeah, that's something to think about, because their audience, if it's their audience is your audience, you would like some of them to opt in. So you could use software like Hey Summit, or some other software to create the summit. And then you could set up an affiliate program for the summit. So that would attract people to participate, potential partners, if they can make money from the number of packages they might sell of the summit. So that is something to consider. And then you start your search for potential speakers. So you can go on LinkedIn or Facebook and see if they have to at least be willing to be on camera so that you can interview them, and they would be the expert, and they would send people to the summit to listen, and of course they could get an affiliate commission from being and sending some of these people onto, and they buy your summit information. So there's one way to attract local people who you would like to get interested in participating in your summit. And Yeah, I can think of, just for myself, one local group that I wouldn't mind educating them on television, for example, and how they should have a television channel. So, for example, the Chamber of Commerce. So I would have to obviously become a member of the Chamber of Commerce and then connect with some of the people in the chamber, make a presentation about the summit and how it can be an asset to the people that they want to have on the summit. I can certainly see, if you're in a business that serves restaurants, that having a all-day workshop where you have various restaurants interviews and on that summit, that would be very interesting, that are all local. That would be very interesting to them as restaurants, as well as to fans, as well as to anyone else, really, to have a look at restaurants and their menus and how they get their work done. So there's something for you to think about in terms of locally. You could try a summit, or we'll say all-day workshop where you interview some of the local businesses and etc. So you want to use excess capacity to monetize. So this is a concept taught by Ben Settle, where do you have assets that you use for your business? How can you sell or resell them to this audience without having to do more work? Yes, you may not want to put these people into places like JVZoo or Warrior Plus, but you can find another place to put on a platform for it's easy for them to go and look at and find if they're interested. There are other platforms. Do you have an affiliate platform so that if you talk to a local business that you're interested in partnering with, the attraction for them would be, of course, to send an email out to their list about the program, and so they would get a commission from any programs that are sold. So do you have a section of your site for a directory? Maybe there would be some way to attract your local businesses to have the opportunity for them to be online, connected to their website with a link in your directory. Do you have an existing podcast where you can do a local segment and interview a few of them and get to know them? Can you create an online course platform for local creators? You could do that, and possibly as well. Or, as for example, what I would do would be to create a TV channel that would be based on local businesses, in only local businesses, and they can highlight what they're doing every month, etc. So this would be some of the ways to attract some of the local businesses to participate with you and collaborate with you, and just use your existing assets that you have. So you can turn your content assets local. What can you change or rebrand into a local theme? So if you have Facebook ads course, it could be Facebook ads for Chicago course. If you have a Kindle book, you can re-edit them and just say they're Kindle books for Chicago. Can you have a local portion of your membership to do Zoom meetings or online community? And Circle Meetup's a great one. A lot of local people are used to the concept of meetup, so you could do a monthly meetup or you could go to monthly meetups actually and be the local business in your niche. Mighty Networks is another one that you could use. You can sell on KDP or books, of course, on demand. And you could also always be looking for partners. And in the book, you could say that you are always looking for partners, or you're always looking for interviewees, or for your podcast, etc. And that way they would get in touch with you. We want people that want us to either do this work for them, like online marketing, or whatever niche you're in, or even better, to teach them how to do it. So whatever it is that you do in your niche, you want to have the ability to train them in what you do, such that they become fans. You make a big connection, you collaborate, you get some of their list, they get some of your list, depending on what they do. And then, of course, you want them to become affiliates to grow your business by going and sending out information to their list about whatever it is you have in your product offers. So, in conclusion, you have to think like a media company. So to attract the right kind of people, you need to think like a media company. What would you do if one of your divisions was a local business or niche station? Who would you want to have as part of your network on this niche station? Who would you want to have on a show who is a local entrepreneur? And how would they bring you the audience of buyers? So you're going to think about, obviously, if you don't have a TV channel, you could also do it with a podcast. You could also do it kind of not as much with a Facebook group. You could always find a way to have a place, a media where people come and they get either interviewed or they talk about their business, and of course they send it out to their buyers. How much additional work would you have to do in order to attract these people? So at all times you have to figure out, can you do this? Reaching out to your local area, local businesses. Have you defined any that you can think of? How much time would that take? And how can you do it easily? And how can you do it without compromising the rest of your business model? Would you have to create additional products? Well, maybe, maybe not. If you can niche down your products, whether it's a course on Facebook ads or whether it's a course on building your business like this, you can make it quite easily put together so that it's for your local area. If you have to start a whole new branch of your business and you're trying to grow your business, it might not be a good idea. But this is something for you to think about as you build your business, reaching out to a few local businesses who have some of those qualities that we have discussed. So in summary, your Dream 100 should always include the idea that you reach out to local businesses in your network who are online, who have some of the conditions that we met, like having an email list or having a podcast or having a blog, and have a list of local customers as a hedge against international regional problems in your base area, and who already has your business audience locally. So you need to go and look at the conditions of who they are. And so one of the things you could do is do a local version of an online summit or an online all-day workshop, or even just a workshop that's done once a month that's for your local area. You can turn your content assets in local by just defining them and labeling them and adding a few references to the local area, as we mentioned. And you have to think like a media company who is out there that you could have on a show, whether that's a broadcast, whether that's a TV show, whether that's a podcast, whether that's your blog, whether that's a Facebook Live that you broadcast out and they want to also broadcast out, or a YouTube channel. Of course, I forget YouTube. You could have a YouTube channel and you could have a playlist just for your local area. That would be very attractive to local businesses to be interviewed, especially at this time when they are struggling to take the time to do an interview with them for half an hour on that and have that playlist. They would certainly send people and send others to your playlist. So there's an idea that maybe you haven't thought of before, is your local network that you could expand your reach in. So we've looked at building your massive network. We're remembering that we need to consider our core values and our mindset and our brand. We have to be an educator and do a weekly workshop and make sure we have product offers, develop a strategic marketing, create a content factory, become a media mogul, which we'll talk about next week. I guess we'll talk about podcasts next week, since there's a lot of interest in podcast. Get into production mode, build a learning center, create an online community, raise and build affiliate fans, and put systems in place. So these are concepts that will help you to build your business. And if you want to see some of the previous trainings and get the other trainings as we go along in the 52 weeks, you can join for free trainings at http://jgtips.com/byb-free. And then second email, I believe you can get and register and get into the membership to see the videos. So the Facebook group is at facebook.com/groups/implement club. So thank you for listening, and I hope that has brought you some ideas for your business as to what you can do locally. I know a lot of people don't think local when they're doing this, and so it's an interesting concept to consider. And I just wanted to say goodbye and think about it. Think of some of the local businesses in your niche. You probably know quite a few once you start writing it out. And of course, local could be quite a large reach, because of course they have to be online, they have to have an audience, they have to have an email list. Well, they don't have to have, but they might have a podcast, they might have a blog, but an email list would be great, because once you interview them, they would hopefully send that information out to their email list saying, watch this interview and here is where you watch it, and you would get more fans. So just think of a YouTube channel and how easy that is to send people to a YouTube channel. And I hope this will get you thinking about also just adding local into your massive network.